Hello, one and all, and welcome to this preview for this season's Apex Online Racing Oceania Xbox One for Season 6! Season 6 already, my goodness me. It's incredible that it's already Season 6. We've gone through two games, F1 2017, 2018, and now we're at the end here for 2019 with F1 2020 game coming very soon. Who knows when the date will be, but yeah, we're here and it's going to take you through all the teams, the drivers for this season. Of course, Apex Online Racing F1 Oceania starts tonight, 8 o'clock, Australian Eastern Standard Time. I think that's correct. And I'll be commentating. Sadly, not racing anymore in F2, but we'll be commentating now in F1 about time with AOR Charlie and working with Jess as well. So yeah, 12 rounds this season, of course. I should have that on me right now, but I don't. That's one thing I've not become prepared for. But this is an interesting season, and I think it's going to be a really interesting season. New drivers, some returning drivers, and some drivers who've moved up from F2 to F1. And that's going to be really spicy because we've got two champions. We got Ryan, of course, and we got Penske, DJRTP17, and two champions, one tier. Should be very interesting. It's going to be, I think, a hell of a fight this season. Maybe not for the championship. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think also that mid-pack is going to be very spicy this season. We've got a lot of drivers there who will make that very interesting. So I've got the points up now. Let's take you through it. It's Bahrain starting tonight. Then we got Belgium. So we're going to Spa after that. Then we got Great Britain, Silverstone after that. So it's an interesting calendar, but I love it. Then we go Japan, Italy for round 5, USA, and then we go to China. Hopefully we don't get coronavirus. Shouldn't have made that joke. I think I've been told I've been fired for making it. Yeah, I apologise. I apologise. Seriously, wash your hands, okay? Don't buy a lot of toilet paper. Don't buy a lot of toilet paper. For anyone who's watching this internationally, for some reason in Australia right now, people buy toilet paper like crazy. But wash your hands. Then we got Australia, we got Germany, we got Canada. Third last round for Canada, that's interesting. Austria, second last round, and Brazil. Those last 4 rounds, Germany, Canada, Austria, and Brazil, all 4 of those could deliver chaotic races. And also, threat of rain. Could make it very interesting. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a 12-round championship, and it should be very exciting. Can't wait for it. And let's get things started, shall we? And actually, I want to go through a list here of something real quickly before we go all dry. This is a little bit of a history of most wins, most poles and podiums in AIF1, and it's a very interesting read. You know, Ryan's got 36 wins, Warden 8 wins, Warden just second on 8 wins, then Fans on 5, we've got Greek on 4, Jared only 3, Team at Marnik, who's that? We know who he is. The guy who used to race in Oceania. With 3, Alan Hugo 3, and then got then Laggy person with 2, and then a bunch of guys on 1 win. And then you go to the pole side, you see how the most poles, it's very, very open. It's very different. You know, you got Ryan on 22 poles, then Fens Greek 9, then you got Ben, Jared, Warden, HO on 5, you got Alan on 4, you got a whole bunch more on 2, a couple more on 1 pole. That's always the great thing about qualifying, is there's always a mix. You know, the podiums, 53 podiums for New Zealand Ryan, and then the next stuff that is Fens on 24. Yeah, and Alan Hugo 17 is very impressive because I believe Alan Hugo, I think he joined season 3. I should have looked more as an expert, but you know, 17 poles very good for him, especially when Greek's only got 17. You know, and you know, Greek was a championship contender in season 3, but let's not talk about season 3. Season 3's in the past. Season 3's in the past. That's a season we kind of want to forget. Let's all be real here. But yeah, and I think this season we're going to see a lot of podium, different guys on the podium. I think you're going to see the top guys mainly at the front, but I think we can see some surprises for third. But we'll talk about that in just a second. But let's go to our first car. We're going to go by the constructors from last season, from last to first, the order from last season. And Williams finished last season, so let's have a look at Williams. And there we go. Williams, this season, what a team this is, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not hyped for this team, hyped energy. Yeah. Sponsor of AOI. Definitely not sponsor this video because, God, even though I'm open. Hype energy. I'm open for anything. You're absolute beautiful sponsors. Calvo Oz and Conrad Strait, the legendary. I can't yell because my voice is a little bit at the moment. Steve Bingham. I hope I'm allowed to say at least that once on the stream. Justin, Charlie, Roscoe, please. Can I just say Steve Bingham just once a race? Two legends though. Two guys who are the mature age, right? They literally are the mature age drivers. I don't know the exact age. I think Bingham's in his 50s and Conrad maybe in his 40. I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't want to be rude. I know Calvo's going to come at me saying I'm not that age. Yeah, but both drivers mature age and in the Williams. And, you know, Calvo, he was from F2. I believe he did race in F1 for a little bit. His best result last season in F2 was 8th in Japan. He was 18th in the points. He wasn't really there, but 8th in Japan. He'll be one of those ones hoping to get into the points on the races where there's chaos, you know. And Conrad Strait, of course, legendary Steve Bingham. 2 5th places in Abu Dhabi and Brazil, but there was low numbers for those races. 14th in the championship. And yeah, those two, they'll be looking to get those surprise points because it is a full grid. So yeah, look out for the two legends, and I'll be talking about them on stream as always. Two legends of their game. As we now go to Renault, who were second last in the championship last season. Renault, oh, that's what I wanted to. There we go. Renault this season has got Butler and Benny F1 joining this season, and actually I need to say, hold on a second, I need to say Butler's name correctly, because it'd be rude if I didn't. Ellis EM the Butler, there we go, from Lightspeed Energy Motors. I get that name wrong all the time. Butler and Benny, because Butler won in Abu Dhabi, the last race of the season actually, for AI F1 Oceania. He was 8th for the points. Benny, he's had quite a number of second places in F2. He's an F2 driver, he's coming from F2. Number of second places, he's still looking for that first win, which amazed me. I thought he won before, but he hasn't won in AOR, and he finished 5th in F2. These two can be, I think, can be around a top, but can get probably around the top 5-4 in the constructors. I very well can. Benny is, I don't know much about Butler, but I have seen his results. Butler is, on his best days, is a quick driver, no doubt about it. But Benny, when he is strong, he has good pace, and he can definitely challenge for a podium. But I'll talk about it later. You know, Butler and Benny, on their best days, can challenge for a third, maybe a second. You know, absolutely can. And they can definitely, they get those good results. They can be consistently in the top 5. on their good days. They absolutely can. What I think. I really think they can do that. So, look out for Butler and Benny. I think there's going to be races where they even could get a surprise pole. May even go for a bit of a pole position if certain situations like tonight, with how the tyres are. But I think tonight mostly everyone's going mediums to hards, to be honest. But safety cars, don't forget about that. But yeah, let's move on now to Toro Rosso, who will be AlphaTauri next season, in the next game, don't forget. And Toro Rosso, what a team this is. Frizy 92 and Savoury the mince pie. Savoury mince pie. Frizy 16 for the points in F2. These two are from F2, by the way. And Frizy's best result was a 9th. He got 4 9th places in F2. And Savoury 11th in the points. His best result was 4th in Japan. And Frizy's going to be like Calvo Conrad and a few others maybe, who will be hoping for a bit of chaotic race to get into the points. If they say oh trouble, they can be. You know, absolutely can. Savoury can consistently score points. I'm putting that right now on Savoury. He's probably going to hate me saying that, but I strongly believe Savoury can consistently score 10th, 9th in the points if there's not much chaos. I can see that happening. I think he can. I think he is a quick driver on his best days. He absolutely is, and I think he can score those points. And hopefully I've not put the curse on him. Watch tonight, he did have slap 1. But yeah, look out for the Toro Rossos, absolutely. As we now go to Red Bull, and I'm not doing what I wanted to do. There we go, this is what I wanted to do. Red Bull this season. Now let's talk about Red Bull. This is a team. This is a team. Another ones who I think who will be challenging for the Constructors' title, and a driver who I think can maybe even win the championship. We got Jared and Laggy. Let's go Laggy first. And Laggy finished third in the points last season. His wins were in USA and Brazil. USA won by top banter having a penalty. Yeah, Laggy, of course, won the Constructors with Ryan and Ferrari. Laggy, his podiums in AOR are 7 podiums. He's had 2 pole positions and 2 wins. Laggy, once again, his best days, you're going to hear a lot of me saying this a lot, but the fact that it is true, his best days, Laggy, he can score and get in the points. But this seems to me like if he gets a bad run in qualifying, he just doesn't have a good race, Laggy. But I think he can absolutely get a good result this season. He's just got to get that consistency up. And that's why I still think Red Bull could be very well a massive Constructors challengers. And I'm going to say this right now, I think they can even maybe win the Constructors, these two. That's what I firmly believe. I think these two can win it. It is a short season though, so that could play a part. That's why if Ryan goes and wins 12 races in a row, forget about the Constructors for these guys. But Jared though, look, Jared, I think Jared on his best days, when he challenges Ryan, he can beat him. You know, Ryan, we'll talk about later, Ryan, when he's out in front, no one with him, he's tough to beat. Jared's kind of the same in a way, but when, you know, Jared is, in my opinion, he's one of the best guys, apart from Warden, because Warden, as you know, Warden is, who's a reserve, by the way, this season, we'll talk about him in just a second. Warden has challenged Ryan so many races before. I think it was Baku when they had that epic finish, I think, last season. And Jared's one of those ones who can challenge Ryan really well. I don't think he's going to win the title, but I think it's going to come down to the last race. I strongly believe it will come down to the last race. You know, and Ryan has never been beaten in AOR. You know, I mean, yes, he did get beaten in Season 4 with Fens, but Ryan, I mean by Ryan being in the full season, because he wasn't in the first half of that season that Fens won. But all the seasons that Ryan has been full time, you know, he's never been beaten. You know, Jared has only got 3 wins. This is Jared's return, by the way, since season 3. He hasn't been racing the last 2 seasons. You know, 3 wins, 5 pole positions. He is a good qualifier, Jared. He is a good qualifier, and 16 podiums. You know, Jared, he is one who can definitely stay on those podiums. You know, and consistency is going to be a key. Getting those race results and those wins when you can, because it's a short season. You know, and in a short season, the championship fight can go away so quickly. You know, we know that. And Jared is good here. Jared is good in Bahrain. And I think it's going to be a great fight between those two tonight. I strongly believe that. I think Jared and Ron will have a good old scrap in Bahrain. Hopefully. Hopefully I'm not putting the curse on them. But yeah, I think Red Bull, I'm predicting they're going to win the Constructors. It's a bold move, but I think they can win. I think Lucky can go back-to-back in the Constructors. But yeah, we'll see how they go. As we now move on to Mercedes. And let's talk about Mercedes. Hell of a team, this one. This is another team. I'm going to call this is a dark horse team to win the Constructors. Just going to say that right now. I think they're a dark horse team to win the Constructors, these two. It's Alan Hugo and Max Mate. I'm going to start with Max Mate because I know a bit more about Max Mate because Max Mate raced in F2. He was 4th in the points in F2 and he got 4 wins. He just didn't have the consistency enough in F2 to win the title. The first half of the season where Penske did. We'll talk about Penske in a minute. And Max just didn't get there. Max on his best days is a quick driver. He's got certain pace that can absolutely keep him consistent on podium. He absolutely can. You know, he just needs to stay out of trouble because there's some races where he's gone into a bit of drama, bit of chaos, and gotten a bit of damage, and it's cost him. You know, and he needs and good consistent qualifying as well. You know, and short season, you're going for those results. And I think Max, he can get a couple of podiums this season. I think top 5s is probably going to be where he's at, and probably maybe in that mid-pack scrap because there's going to be the front runners, there's going to be that mid-pack scrap, and then there's going to be the back of the pack. There's going to be 3 distinctive parts in this season. That's going to be very interesting to watch. And again, even in that mid-pack, there's guys in that mid-pack that I strongly believe that can get on the... I'm going to go for it now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11 to 12 that I think can get on a podium on their best days. I strongly believe that. On their best days. There's about 11 or 12 drivers I could strongly believe can get on a podium this season. So, and watch me be proven wrong, and only like 3 drivers get on the podium. Now, move on Alan Hugo. Of course, Alan Hugo was 2nd in the points last season in AOR. He won in Russia and Germany, a lot of 2nd places to still on run last season. He's got 17 podiums, Alan Hugo, and 4 poles. And you know, I think with Alan, the thing about Alan Hugo is he is a very quick driver, but there's just the consistency's not there for him. You know, and I think if he can get that consistency up well, qualify well, because he's had some bad qualifying sessions since I've seen. He has had some bad qualifying sessions where he's just not got it correct. I think he can. Absolutely think he can be more consistent. But just have to wait and see. If he can get that consistency, I think he can even be with Jared and Ryan for the championship. Absolutely. But let's move on now to an interesting one. It is Alfa Romeo. And Alfa Romeo this season is what a team this is. It's DJR TP17, Penske, and B Dubstep. Let's talk about Dubstep first. Dubstep 2nd place in Baku. These two from F2, by the way. Dubstep 2nd in Baku. 6th in the points. Dubstep also looking for his first win. And Dubstep will probably be in that mid-pack scrap. I'd put him in those guys. There's a chaotic race, and he stays out of trouble. I really think he can get on the podium. You know, he is a quick driver, Dubstep. It's just, again, some of these guys, the consistency's just not there. And that's the tough thing about. That's what Ryan has. He's got that consistency. That's why he does so well. And then there's some other guys who don't have that have the speed, but they just don't have the consistency, or their qualifying result really hurts them. You know, and that's why qualifying is very important. It's very important. And Penske, of course, F2 champion. He won it by consistency and did it so well. And 6 wins he got, and he was very good in that Alfa Romeo. And he is the F2 champion. So 2 champions here in AOR, F1 Oceania, Xbox One for season 6. Interesting how these two go. Penske. Thing about Penske is, even if he starts at the back, or like 13th, 14th, he gets such a good start. That's the one thing I know about Penske. He gets such a good start, he moves up positions, stays out of trouble. And I think with the full grids, because there's definitely full grids, because I think we've got about 6 or 7 reserves this season, so we're absolutely going to have full grids the entire season here. Penske is absolutely, telling this right now, Penske is absolutely, my prediction, he's going to get a podium this season. Don't know what race, but I feel like he will get a 3rd place at one point this season. Strongly believe it. But, yeah, that's Alfa Romeo. Now we go to McLaren. And McLaren this season, Is That Matt? And I'm Def Bro. Is That Matt? 6th in the points last season. 4th in USA was his best result. And Def Bro was 9th in the points. And 4th at Spa, that was his best result. And he also got he has a pole position, Def Bro, I don't know where it was. But the thing is about these two will be also in that mid-pack, because there's going to be, the mid-pack scrap is just going to be absolutely epic. Matt and Def, Is That Matt and Def, very quick. Again, he's one of those ones where he has the best day. He is quick. And Matt, I think probably around his best results going to be top 5. I think on his best days, top 5, top 6. But they're going to be in that mid-pack scrap. Def on his best days can absolutely fight for a podium. He can. And I think he will. But he will be also in that mid-pack scrap as well. I think this, again, that mid-pack scrap is just, I know I'm harping on about it, but it's just going to be epic to watch those guys, especially tonight at Bahrain, where the passing's just awesome. But yeah, look out for McLaren in that mid-pack and try to go for surprise podiums here and there. Absolutely, and get those top 5s. That's probably where Def and Matt will be looking for. If they can score consistent points, I think they'll be happy. But we've got 3 more teams to go. Let's go to Racing Point now. And Racing Point, pink car, it is Top Banter and Dano. And let's go to Dano real quickly, because Dano was in F2 last season. His best result was a 5th in Japan and 14th in the points. Dano, he's one of those ones where if he could stay out of trouble, he can get a good consistent points result. But there was a lot of times in F2 where he was in trouble, made some mistakes, and it cost him a good enough points result for him. Whereas Japan, he stayed out of trouble and got 5th. So it'd be interesting to see how Dano goes this season in full grid here in F1. And Top Banter, 2nd in USA, his best result here in AI F1. Toppy's kind of like Def in a way, where Def Bro, they have those good, they can get a good consistent result, but they sometimes get into drama and it costs them a good result. or something happens, goes wrong, or a bad qualifying. You know, Toppy can qualify well, and he can race well. You know, and he's one who can score a podium on his best days. But who knows? It could be very interesting to see how it all goes down with those guys this season. Toppy and Dano, interesting team, and be interesting to see how they go this season. I think Toppy will be in that fight for probably 5th in the championship. 5th or 4th, because I'm just going to say this right now. My prediction is that it's going to be Ryan, Jared, Allen will be the 3. That's my opinion. They will be the 3. And then maybe Max. There's going to be about 4th in the championship. I think that's going to be the big scrap. That's going to be a big scrap for 4th in the championship. You know, and I think the main contender for the championship maybe be Laggy, Max, Toppy, even Berserk. You know, we see how things go really with those guys. Let's go on the Haas, and Haas has only got one driver this season because Jess is in the game streaming, of course, so only 19 cars. Brazuca 82. Hope I said that name right. He was 13th in the points and 4th at Brazil. He was. Don't know a lot about this. Don't know a lot about him. I'll have to learn a bit more about him as I'm commentating. Looks like he will be one of those ones as well, in that little mid to lower pack, trying to get into those points. And that's why I said again, this season, front, middle, and the back, there's going to be 3 distinct parts in these Grand Prix. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, sorry, Brazuca. Again, I hope I said your name correctly. I should have done more research, but I'll learn more about you. And Bahrain tonight, if you watch this, Bahrain tonight, absolutely go for it, son. As we now move on to Ferrari. And Ferrari, of course, it is New Zealand Ryan and Master Berserk. I'm going to talk Berserk real quick. But Master Berserk, 10th for the points last season, and his best result was 4th in Japan. Berserk's results have been a little bit lackluster in a way, but Berserk has had 7 podiums here in AR. He's had 7 podiums. So it's not like he's never been on the podium. But it's been a little bit of a while for him to be on the podium. But if he has a real good season this Ferrari, he can absolutely get up there and challenge for those top 5s. Yeah, he is a quick driver, Berserk. He is. But he just needs those good, consistent results. He absolutely does. As New Zealand Ryan, 15 wins last season, of course. You know his results and everything like that. Look, I'm going for the obvious, predicting him to win the title. But I feel like it's not going to be an easy season for him. I don't think it's going to be that easy. But, you know, if he keeps those consistent results and those consistent pole positions, you know, he's going to win the title by the 4th last round. You know? But I think it's going to be interesting and fascinating to see how the battle goes between him and Jared, and how Alan Hugo's going to be in the fight, and a few others as well. It's going to be... I don't think it's going to be an exact smooth sailing run for Ryan this season. I don't think it is, like it was last season. But it will be very interesting, and I'm going to look forward to that, no doubt about it, and can't wait to see how he goes. But yeah, that is all we got time for. I could go on for another hour. Tonight is Apex Online Racing. It is the first round of the championship. And I'll be commentating with AI Charlie for the very first time. And Jess will be, of course, doing the stream as always. And looking forward to it. Hope you all will watch that, because it's going to be an exciting season. I really do. I'm really pumped. A mix of fast-paced drivers, and you know, if we have wet conditions, how's that going to play out? Because I know there's a few guys in here that are very quick in the wet compared to the dry. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, Troy tonight, I'm going to leave a link down to the stream for tonight. And yeah, hopefully this is not just the one and only season I get to commentate AOR, because I'm very excited. and going to look forward to it. So yeah, don't forget, hype energy.